Wagons, trains, gold. Oh my gosh, is she okay? We're going on a field trip. Picture this, you're driving westward down I-80 through the great state of Nebraska, and you're thinking to yourself, this is too much corn. No people, no buildings, it's all just corn. Except wait, what's that? It's the Great Platte River Road Archway. This museum is an absolute gem. It tells the story of westward travel from the days of covered wagons to station wagons. Before we go in, let's check out the sculpture garden. This is a big old bison. A random guy from Google image search for scale. It's crazy to think that instead of blood, buffalo just have this sauce running through their veins. Delicious. Over on the other side, oh, look at that flag.
What did you call me?
Whoa, very much patriotism. God bless us, everyone. These statues commemorate the early settlers that stayed in Nebraska and started working the land. This man is famous for being Nebraska's shyest farmer. This child is planting seeds, farming the land. This channel has historically been pro-child labor. Give the children what they want. Jobs. We love to see it. This statue is a great lesson for kids. You can say, this child was misbehaving and his parents had him encased in carbonite. Kind of the ultimate timeout, I suppose. And remember, threatening children with violence is good parenting. The museum entrance is nothing short of
Epic, bro. Epic.
These folks are engaged in a rowdy game of King of the Hill.
It's fun. We're having fun.
But not all pioneers were the strong, adventurous type. Some of them were more interested in dumb, boring things like reading and writing.
Nerd!
We enter the museum through this giant video wall portrait of Western expansion through a covered wagon and onto the Oregon Trail. Make a pit stop at the Fort Kearny Carpenter Shop. Welcome to MTV Cribs. This place is all tricked out. In the corner there is our poop barrel. That's where we poop. And look, here's some happy customers pushing their overweight wagon through the grass. If my wagon gets stuck in the mud, I'm not getting out and pushing. I'm saying this is a sign from God that this is the spot. We live here now. Fun fact, 1 in 17 pioneers did not make it.
That wasn't fun at all.
Early pioneers died of disease, died of accidents, died of embarrassment. This is a good point to call it that a good number of these wax figures are extremely lifelike. I kept getting jump scared, turning corners. I'm still kind of convinced that some of these are actually actors in costumes. What are those? Look at this poor guy's socks. He really needs some Bombas brand socks. Socks so comfortable you'll forget that all your friends and family died of cholera. Bombas. And based on the way this guy's dressed, I'm guessing this is the Pioneer Poet Laureate. My man is fresh off that wagon. He came here straight from church. Over on this side, from the producers of Disney on Ice comes Mormons on Ice. This actually depicts something really sad. So most of the pioneers are heading west for opportunity. These particular Mormons are fleeing persecution. Mormons founded a city in western Illinois, and they were driven out with guns and cannons by a militia of 1,000 men. They were forced to cross an icy Mississippi River on foot. Not chill. Well, I mean, I guess very chill in the temperature sense, but not in the vibe sense, right? Back to the settlers. This wagon was apparently attacked by velociraptors? One of the often overlooked dangers of the Oregon Trail. Pro tip, you can probably make it farther, faster, if you leave the 500-pound upright piano behind. This is the post office barrel. Everybody puts their letters in and they just sort of kick it back east. Nebraska is so flat it just keeps rolling until it hits civilization. Remember that literate nerd from before? This would probably be her favorite room. The walls are covered in text blurbs about the different groups participating in early westward expansion. Early mountain men went into the wilderness to fur trap for the purposes of
fashion, dollar signs, weight. Did I already say fashion? Think I already said fashion.
Probably most important to acknowledge here is that people lived and worked on this land long before the European settlers came into the picture. Early European settlers were like, thank you for teaching us everything we know about how to survive in this environment. In exchange, we would like to trade with you smallpox, ethnic cleansing, and forced displacement. I don't have a business degree, but I don't think that was a fair trade. And then we're supposed to feel bad for these settlers? Oh, you arrived to the farm plats worn out, threadbare, and hungry? Good. Making the 2,500-mile trek west from Springfield, Illinois, the Donner Party was nothing of the sort. What's the opposite of a party? If you said 42 out of 87 people dying from some combination of consumption, malnutrition, or frostbite, and then subsequently being cannibalized by the remaining desperate immigrants, you would be correct. It's weird that that was your first guess, but go off. Cannibalism is not cute. It's a lifestyle. But not all settlers were bad. Hashtag not all settlers. Bridget Biddy Mason was enslaved to one of the early Mormon immigrants. She essentially sued for her freedom when she arrived in the free state of California. She then worked as a doctor's assistant, ran a midwifing business, and became one of the first prominent citizens and landowners in Los Angeles. She donated to numerous charities, fed and sheltered the poor, visited prisoners, founded the first African Methodist Episcopal Church, a traveler's aid center, and an elementary school for children. What did you do today? Listen, if your friends aren't talking about growing their side hustles, investing in the stock market, or founding a new branch of the Episcopal Church, you need new friends. More tales from the women corner. Narcissa, Whitman, and Eliza Spalding were sort of the Paris and Nicole of the Western expansion. Missionary wives were the first white women to cross the Continental Divide, and reports show that fur trappers and mountain men started really showing an interest in Christianity once they showed up. And that has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that they hadn't seen a woman in months. Men only want one thing: the healing power of faith in Jesus. Worshipping Jesus?
That's hot.
Who else is heading west? Well, Mormons, of course. But as we know, not totally by choice. They essentially keep settling down, building up a town, declaring it as their God-given New Jerusalem, and then promptly getting kicked out and declaring, actually, never mind, our New Jerusalem is actually gonna be the next spot that we're gonna stop at. The Mormons finally settled around Salt Lake, which is the 8th saltiest body of water in the world. Mormons felt safe and secure settling down in the Salt Lake area because the lake smells like rotten eggs. They said, we're gonna build the stinkiest town in America. And that they did. You go, Mormons. The final phase of mass immigration called out here is the gold rush. The discovery of gold in the hills, rivers, and fields of California caused hordes of people from all over the globe to rush and take over small farming communities. They created ramshackle boom towns that quickly became lawless dens of drinking, gambling, prostitution, all sorts of general
Debauchery!
It'd be like going to Reno, Nevada, but there's actually a reason to be there. That's right, Reno, Nevada, catching strays. The biggest little city in the world can suck my. The Pony Express was a game changer. It essentially created this relay system that allowed mail to reach California in 10 days, a speed unheard of at the time. It changed the game in that it showed other businesses how to not be efficient. Flop cam. Hey, how's business? It survived 18 months before going bankrupt. That's what I thought. Telegraphs and rail started taking over, and horse unemployment started reaching all-time highs. To this day, one of the greatest issues facing our nation is horse unemployment. Give the horses what they want: jobs. President Lincoln saw Transcontinental Rail as a means of keeping the country together. They contracted 2 separate companies to start building the route to foster competition and get it done faster. Both companies connected their routes at Promontory Summit in the Utah Territory, right above Salt Lake. This is a dramatic reenactment of the moment the lines finally connected.
That's hot.
This is a very cool recreation. The first steam locomotive companies would often host underground rave parties. They have the sign from Union Pacific 4023, aka Big Boy, aka the world's largest steam locomotive. They took his name tag because he's now in the Witness Protection Program. Thomas, the tank engine, is not as innocent as he looks. Let's just say he's been running bricks, but not from the quarry, from the Sinaloa cartel. The Lincoln Highway was dedicated in 1913 and connected the coasts from Times Square in New York City all the way across the country to Lincoln Park in San Francisco. I wonder what's going on in Lincoln Park.
Watch it count down to the end of the day, the clock takes life away.
Probably just stay over here. Here we have what looks like Cruella de Vil and an early Ford. In Cruella's defense, 101 is too many dogs. Spay and neuter your pets, people. Car culture becomes king, and it's not just cross-country road trips, it's diners, drive-ins, and dives. The museum has this cool classic car, and they've somehow managed to perfectly capture the look of a man in the midst of a midlife crisis. Stunning work. Jump scare warning! I just about soiled myself when I turned the corner and saw this lady staring directly into my soul. Again, they've perfectly captured that smile through the pain look that is emblematic of an American service industry worker. This is very relatable. I will say the food here is terrible. My pie tasted like plastic. I had to chew through my coffee just to get it down. They have windows looking down onto I-80 with speedometers. This driver, for example, is going 69 miles per hour.
Nice.
This section is also a reminder that you are literally on top of the interstate. Crazy.
You're crazy, girl.
That's the end of the main exhibits. You come back down an escalator and find a child mining operation. This is actually how they make Dasani. Running dirty rocks under the water adds in minerals and vitamins, and then the unclean hands of children give it that signature sticky taste. 10 out of 10 would absolutely recommend the Great Platte River Road Archway. It's a quick little trip and a perfect stop during your travels. This brings today's field trip to an end. Until next time, thank you guys for watching. I filmed over 100 hours of footage on this road trip, and I'm editing it all as we speak. Everything from old pioneer towns in the Rocky Mountains to the world's largest zoo. Make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for more amazing videos. Until then, goodbye.